Okay, so when your timer tells you that you've had this on for enough time, we now need to remove this. So we're going to use damp cotton wool. I always tend to have a little pile there ready and another set ready over there, just in case you run out. So always have an abundance of damp cotton wool at the ready at this point. So we're going to start by taking that bottom piece away instantly, straight in the bin. If this was to touch something, this tint, someone's finger skin, it can stain, so you need to be very careful. We're going to wipe off the excess straight away. We can work quite quickly with this. I'm going to wipe away nearer the eye as well. Now, so don't worry if your action makes some of those lashes come away from the shield, because the idea is that shield is going to come off anyway. So we're just going to make sure with our cotton bud that bit's off, and then you can just go over here, just getting off any excess. And you can start to move the lashes about a bit on here as well, and then get rid of that. And then we're going to do the same to this side. We're going to quickly take off that bottom bit. We're going to take our cotton wool, Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to use one of these. Again, it's a handy little tool, but I'm actually going to just dunk it in some water, and I'm going to come underneath this pad, and the water does dissolve this glue that's under here. So work gently, especially if you've got an older lady that's got quite a lot of loose skin, and you can just dunk that in the water. Not too much so that it goes everywhere, but just enough to release that pad, and then we can just gently release those lashes from the pad. So put these pads, just for the time being, on a piece of tissue or something, just because they'll be covered in the tint, and wherever you put them it may actually tint or stain. So just be careful when you're removing things, especially if you're keen to get your client's eyes open for them. These silicone pads can be reused, but they need to be thoroughly cleaned. Going back to the glue we spoke about earlier, sometimes you can see a bit there. Okay, that's just where that glue was a bit gloopier, so you might find things like that. So just be a bit more careful with it. So now what we're going to do is come back to our damp cotton wool, and we're going to be wiping away any excesses. So you may find you're wiping away bits of glue, tint. Get the client's eyes as clean as you can. You can quite instantly see the lift straight away when you take those off, and obviously the colour. So this is a good time to tell the client what you can see, you can see how beautiful they're looking, that you can see that it's coming together, because they may be getting a bit anxious because they've had their eyes closed for some time. So what I would do here again is take a cotton bud again, and you can dampen this if you want to, but you can roll this to remove things. I could see an annoying bit of glue there. It's just come off, and you will find that depending on your glue you may get more or less of that. So what I'm going to do now is just take my spoolie, support the eye, and just gently brush through as well, always brushing back upwards. We've created this nice lift, so you want to do as least as possible to detract from that lift. Okay, just give me a little blink to start with. How are they feeling? Are they stinging at all?
They are stinging a little bit. Okay. But
just close your eyes for me. If they are stinging, you can either give them some cotton pads just to ease it, and it's not completely unnormal for them to tingle a little bit as they first open. And what it can mean generally is a little bit of tint. It's just touching that eye, so you just want to get in there and get rid of it. Just give a little blink for me. How are they feeling? So if you get the client to blink, their natural eye will produce tears, and that helps to wash anything out as well. So, and you can see sometimes if there's a little bit in there where to get it out. Like there's a little bit there, that was probably stingy. But don't panic about anything, because it's all really easy to remedy. How do they feel now? All right.
Fine.
Just close your eyes for me. So just do a few little blinks for me. That's it, now close. And that will just make their eye naturally rinse anything out. Okay, so what we're going to do, the last thing, is our conditioning oil. And again, different brands will have different amounts. So what you don't want to do is put loads of this on and make the eyes water, because that's what I did, I think, on the first set, and I learned very much from that. So just put a little bit on the back of your hand and take a small amount onto the spoolie and just check any excess on blotting on your couch roll. Get their eyes closed, and then this conditioning oil is just, you know, if you treated your hair with chemicals, you'd put something conditioning on afterwards. It's exactly the same procedure. So we just want to brush and set them into place. And then we would hand the client a mirror so she can have a look. And then we would give her the aftercare instructions on how to look after them. Just open your eyes. They feel all right? They look amazing. So we would hand the client a mirror, get her to check them, and we would go through the aftercare, and then we would see her out and rebook her in for her next treatment. So when your client's gone, just some tips on clearing away. So you're going to have a lot of tint left in the dappen dish, and if you get this anywhere, it's going to stain. So maybe keep your gloves on when you're doing this. Use your cotton wool and really just completely get rid of everything out of the bowl and discard this straight into your smelly bin. And with these, this is kind of what they look like once your client has gone. You need to get these clean if you're going to reuse them. It's your choice. They are reusable for a certain amount of time depending on the brand. I would get these into some hot soapy water and clean them. It all comes off, and then I would spray them with some IPA spray just to sanitize them and store them. These little ones, just bin them, they're disposable, as are everything else that you've used, and then you'll keep everything clean and sterile, ready for your next time you come to do that treatment. So yeah.